there. I just wanted to make another audio recording because I'm doing another book review. I read a book yesterday that is called Energy Vampires by a doctor named Albert, and I wanted to go and kind of review the book with you because basically the book about energy vampires focuses on different personality types that are just, and constant need for attention and constantly draining the energy of other people that are around them. And what was very interesting to me is when Albert illustrated in the book that he really got into people that are narcissists, people that are absolutely, completely obsessed with themselves. So I give the book an absolute 10 out of 10. I thought it was very, very spot on. I thought that when I was reading it, I was, absolutely shocked, and I, literally got pen and paper and had to take notes because this was exactly speaking to me. This was exactly what I need. So this was people with mental problems that think that the world completely revolves around them, and they just try to suck energy from everybody else and just try to get the attention focused on completely all on them, and they just think that the universe, sort of revolves around them. So if you want to know more, you're going to have to look at my page. There's a link down below. But go ahead, buy it off as Amazon. I gave it 100%, 10 stars out of 10. I don't think that there's somebody who could not benefit from reading this. I just think that's really good, common sense book, and it's by a doctor, and it's about different types of personality, different people that just try to drain our energy. And like I said, it was so accurate of people that I've had to deal with in my life, when I was in college and growing up and everything, that I think that I just wanted to share the quotes that I wrote down on paper from this book. Okay, so the full title of the book, which I'm just going to shortly refer to as Energy Vampires, the full name of the book is Emotional Vampires, Dealing with People Who Drain You Dry. So the first quote that I thought, and this is the reason why the book just really blew me away, is because I made an instant connection with the book, because the first, literally on page one, the first couple paragraphs in the first page that I read, it was very, very spot on, and it felt like it was directly speaking to me. So anyway, I'll read some notes from where you can find it. So on page 1, it starts out obviously with chapter 1, and the chapter is called Children of the Night. Subtitle: Who are these emotional vampires? And obviously in this chapter it kind of goes into different types of personality traits where people just want to drain your energy. And then, so later on that page, about halfway down the page, as a quote, and I'll kind of summarize it. So basically there's a paragraph that says, "It's not your blood they drain, it's your emotional energy. These are real creatures of darkness. They have the power not only to aggravate you, but to hypnotize you, to cloud your mind with fake promises until you are tangled under their spell. Emotional vampires then draw you in and drain you. You expect more, you get less, and in the end you get taken. You invite them into your life, and you hardly ever realize your mistakes until they disappear into the night, leaving you drained dry with a broken heart." So yeah, that's pretty much something that really speaks to me, and I was like really, an experience that happened to me, and I was like, wow, like I couldn't believe that I opened the book, and from the first page it was just like dead on about narcissism, and that's really what narcissists do. Is that it's it's all about them, and you're completely in love with them, but they couldn't even like remember what your last name is. They don't even care. They don't even remember who you are. All they're trying to do is like manipulate people and to just get what they can out of people and to just throw them away when they're done. So there was a second quote, maybe again in the first chapter, and it wasn't too far after that I found like another. This is why I absolutely love the book, because it wasn't too far after page 1 that I found another quote in the first chapter that just directly hit it, right on, and happened to go through what I went through and made me, wow. So again, the chapter 1 of this energy vampire book, the full name of the book is Emotional Vampires Dealing with People Who Drain You Dry. So that was my first quote. I just read my first quote, but in chapter 1 they had another quote. So chapter 1 is called Children of the Night, title, and subtitle is Who Are These Emotional Vampires? And then on page 3, I'm going to read my second quote that really stuck out to me. They want everybody's complete and exclusive attention. They expect perfect love that gives but never demands anything in return. So this is exactly what I was talking about. People that have been in my life, this is talking about narcissism. And so these people, sometimes it's money. I suggest that you not spend, going to financial transactions like buying a house or spending money on anybody more than a few $100s unless you're married to somebody. Sometimes people will just try to manipulate you and get your time and your money, and sometimes it's all a game. Sometimes people get a thrill out of how much attention they can get from other people, and I thought that the book was very accurate, and that's why I highly recommend it. I don't think that there's anybody who could not benefit from reading this book. So that was exactly what happened to me, and I was just like, wow. I mean, like within 2 pages of reading this book, within the first 3 pages, I mean, these quotes are just absolutely so accurate that I had to take a pen and a paper out and start writing down quotes from the book because it was just so spot on. I really, really love the book. I suggest that you buy it off of my website because the book, Energy Vampires, it gave a lot of good advice. Okay, so to kind of wrap up this little book review that I'm giving about the book called Energy Vampires, I'm going to give a third quote, and this one was more toward the end of the book, so it was in the last few pages. I'm going to read another quote that was very accurate. Narcissists think that they are God's gift to the world. They tell you that you are as special as they are. But as soon as they get what they want, they will hardly remember your name until the next time they need something. And I think that's very accurate. And I'm also going to give like some of my own personal advice. This book, that's kind of what the book Energy Vampires was explaining about. Narcissists can be just demanding of anything. Like, you would be surprised what narcissists demand. Sometimes they demand sex, sometimes they demand money, sometimes they just want your attention, and so that's kind of why I would sort of be leery. My own personal advice: don't ever enter a legal contract or buy a house with somebody or anything like that, and unless you're married to them. Don't exchange money, don't pay the bills together, don't pay anybody else's bills, don't move anybody in unless you're married to them, because marriage is a legal contract with something going down to the courthouse, a commitment in writing. Anyway, because you just really got to Be kind of careful of people also that are, calling you and everything, and then they stop calling you, and then they call you back like a year later, and it only seems you have to be careful of like friends or getting into relationships with people that will just call you, and it seems like they only call you when they need something. So again, yeah, I'm just kind of wrapping up my book review. I read a book yesterday, and it was called Energy Vampires. That's not the full title of it, but it was written by a doctor, and you can see the link off of my website. So I highly recommend it. I really, really loved it. It was very, very accurate. It's all like facts. And it was really into, different types of people. It's not just on narcissism, but it's on different sort of personality disorders of people who just think that the attention is absolutely all about them. So I do have a link where you can buy it off of Amazon. So take a look at my link, and I just think that anybody would benefit from reading the book called Energy Vampires.